have something that I know a lot of people admire. You once said that you have the peace of the forest in you. What is that?
I think what, you know, being out there in the forest all those months alone, there was a growing sense of this great spiritual power all around, something greater than me, so that you could lie and look up at the stars and feel yourself tiny, and yet somehow having this extraordinary awareness that we have as human beings of you know, we can encompass a vague sort of feeling of what the universe is, and all in this funny little brain here. So there has to be something more than just brain. It has to be something to do with spirit as well.
I know the story, but for my audience, tell me what happened to you when you had that very powerful experience in the spring of 1974 when you visited Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris.
Yes, it was a sort of low time in my life, and there I was. I went into this cathedral, and as I walked through the door, Bach's Toccata and Fugue in G minor, which is a marvelous piece of music anyway, just suddenly filled the whole cathedral, and the sun was just coming through that rose window. And it just, so powerful a feeling that, you know, how could this amazing cathedral, all the people who built it, all the people who'd worshipped in it, all the brilliant minds that had been within it, how could that all be chance? It couldn't be chance.
But does the meaning come with the DNA, or is it something we create out of life, as you have created meaning with your life?
I don't think that faith, whatever you're being faithful about, really can be scientifically explained. And I don't want to explain this whole life business through science. There's so much mystery, there's so much awe. I mean, what is it that makes the chimpanzees do these spectacular displays, rain dancers I call them, when waterfall dancers at the foot of this waterfall, and then sit in the spray and watch the water that's always coming and always going and always here. It's wonder, it's awe. And if they had the same kind of language that we have, I suspect that would turn into some kind of animistic religion.
You're a scientist who observes the world and reaches your scientific observations. Spirituality can't be observed, it can be felt. And yet, and you reconcile those two in your own life.
But I also had this, I told you, my mother, she would always, she said she never saw the conflict between religion and evolution. Louis Leakey, my great mentor, who's dug up early man, you know, he felt the same. So I sort of had this. And then, yes, it all came together in the forest. But you have to remember, I didn't start as a scientist. I started as well, I wanted to be poet laureate, and I wanted to be a naturalist. That's how I began. I didn't have any desire to go and be a scientist. Louis Leakey channeled me there, and I'm delighted he did. I love science. I love analyzing and making sense of all these observations. So it was the perfect rounding off of who I was into who I am.
There's a poem you wrote that I came across recently as I was thinking about this interview. I had never read it or heard it before, but it is, I think, autobiographical of you. And read it for us, if you don't mind.
Okay, the old wisdom. I wondered which one you were going to choose. When the night wind makes the pine trees creak and the pale clouds glide across the dark sky, go out, my child, go out and seek your soul, the eternal I. For all the grasses rustling at your feet and every flaming star that glitters high above you, close up and meet in you, the eternal I. Yes, my child, go out into the world, walk slow and silent, comprehending all, and by your soul, the universe, will know itself, the eternal I.